Human error is becoming an increasing factor in the investigation of the fatal crash of the Virgin Galactic spacecraft.
The video in the cockpit does show that the person in the right seat moved the lever, the unlock lever from lock to unlock.
Initially, investigators suggested the lock on the mechanism designed to slow down the craft's descent was operated early, but it's still too soon for authorities to determine whether this caused the crash. Co-pilot Michael Alsbury died in Friday's crash. Pilot Pete Siebel survived the parachute descent and is in the hospital with serious injuries. Now, the man behind Virgin Galactic has already set records in hot air balloons, pioneered discount music sales, and started an international airline. Richard Branson's next frontier, the world's first tourist space flight. But as Owen Fairclough reports, there are questions about the program after last week's deadly crash.
Sir Richard Branson's dream of sending paying passengers into space in pieces across California's Mojave Desert. The Virgin Galactic Spaceship 2 crashed just months before the British entrepreneur planned to be on board. But the founder of the Virgin Empire is determined to be the first passenger.
We can move forward. We have spent many, many years building a spacecraft, a mothership, a spaceport that I think can do the job and can do the job safely. But we will not start taking people until we've finished a whole massive series of test flights and until myself and my family have gone up and until we feel that we can safely say to people we're ready to go.
Air accident investigators have yet to establish the exact cause of the disaster that claimed the life of the co-pilot and injured the pilot. But their inquiry is focused on the early deployment of re-entry equipment, contradicting earlier reports that an experimental fuel mix had caused an explosion.
Among other things, they found the fuel tanks, the oxidizer tanks, and the engine, and all were intact, showed no signs of burn through, no signs of being breached, and those will also be investigated further.
There'll be the two astronauts at the front.
There are questions over the financial viability of the ambitious space tourism project. Branson's Virgin Group has been funding the venture out of its own pocket. The key outside partner and financier is an Abu Dhabi investor. According to the Financial Times, launch delays have left the venture without sources of revenue. Virgin Galactic had hoped to start taking the first of around 700 pre-booked passengers, each paying $250,000 into space next spring. That timetable is now likely to be revised. Owen Fairclough, CCTV.